What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Hey, what's going on? What you got to say,
What's
Deisha?
up? What's up? Hey, we back at it. We back at it. The
Back
Working
at it.
People's Podcast.
It's
I
about to be
miss
hot.
y'all.
I miss you too,
The struggle
Deisha.
been real for me.
The struggle been
The struggle
real.
been real. I've been had too much going on, brother. Too much
Oh
going on.
my
But I'm in
God.
it today.
Hey, we're not gonna be with y'all long. So if you're watching on YouTube, press that subscribe button, press that thumbs up like button, and you know what to do. Deisha always tells you she tell you what to do.
Like and share.
Come on now, share the video with your cousins and your auntie, your friends, your family. Share it with them. And also press that bell. Ring that bell so you'll get notified when we have new videos that's coming your way. And if you're watching here on the Working People's Podcast, do the same. Press that thumbs up like button. Press the heart, man. Can we get some hearts?
Can we
And
get
also
some love? Can we get some
show
love?
some
Just a little
love.
bit of love.
Drop some comments below if you're watching on my personal Facebook page right here, the Working People's Podcast. We are here, and you know what we say. This is the place where everybody wants to build generational wealth and a financial legacy for the family. And I'm James Hollingsworth, and Deisha Vines. She's with us, Leaks.
Yes,
Leak, baby.
yes. I'm with you today. I'm
With ya.
in it today.
She in it to win it. So we got something that we need to talk about because there is a problem. And the problem is, how are you using your resources? That's a question. How are you using your resources? Are you using your resources for what you want to do for the future, for yourself and for your family, and for, whatever things that you have planned, for the future? And in this case, we're going to shape this and tailor this to a committed relationship called, that word. What's that word? Marriage.
What's the word?
Marriage.
Oh.
Marriage.
You make that sound like a bad thing, brother.
Oh, no, I don't think it's a bad thing.
It's
I don't think it's a bad thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm going to see if I can pull up my screen here. Because what is going on? Why is it not showing? Oh, Lord Jesus. There we go. I don't know what's going on here. I'm on screen. It says I'm on screen. Okay, so I'm going to go share. I want y'all to watch this video because this is kind of going to set us up for the conversation that we're going to have. So if I can get my screen up where I can share it with you, you'll see it and you'll be like, I've seen that before. So let's see here. Let's go. Make sure I get the right one. There we go. I think this is it. This should pull it up. Okay. Sorry. That was you. Oops. Wrong one.
Trying to kick me off already, James. It's all good.
Oops. Wrong one. Let me see if this is the right one that I'm clicking. Oh, Lord. Okay. Let me do this again. I got share. So let me make sure that I got the right thing. Because I had kicked you off. I'm sorry, Deisha.
Kick me clean off.
No. They got this new screen thing inside of the program, the streaming platform, and it messes you up, man. It's like, come on now. I don't need all that. I don't need all that. So let's go here again. I need to show this video so y'all can see this.
All right.
Okay, so come on. There we go. All right. Come on now. Maybe I should start rebuking the devil. The devil is a lie.
Yes, we got to rebuke that fat head.
Yes. So that's hide on screen. What is going on? My God, my God.
While you working on that, I just want to say I cannot
Yeah.
believe the kids are back in school already.
Already.
Oh
I saw a
my
whole bunch
God.
of first day of
buses?
school pictures.
With the backpack and the First
Why
day
do
of
you have to
school.
take the picture with the backpack? What's up with that?
He want gonna take the picture
What
with the
is up
backpack.
with that?
Backpack in the lunchbox.
I don't know what's up with that.
It just seemed like these babies just got out, but we just plead the blood of Jesus over them this school
Mm-hmm.
year, that no hurt, harm, or danger shall come near them, and that we dispatch the angels, God's angels, to protect them, as they go to school while
That's
they're on the
right.
bus, and
That's
so
right.
that they can return home to their families.
That's right.
Amen. We just
That
have to
is
start
right.
praying over these babies.
Come on now. I'm gonna have to share the volume with you, audio with you all too, because this has sound to it. So,
All right, brother.
and here we go. I got it now. So
right.
this is from the Family Feud, right? And Steve Harvey is hosting the show. And well, you'll hear the question. Here it goes. I'm gonna make it large. So here we go.
Tell me a word a married man would use to fill in the blank. I would blank for sex. James.
Pay.
That is
So did y'all hear what he said?
Yeah.
He said, "We ask 100 married men, what would you do for sex?" And his first answer was, "Pay."
Hey.
So let's do this again.
a man would use a word. Tell
Okay.
me a word a married man would use to fill in the blank. I would blank for sex. James.
Pay.
That is a sad statement
Very sad.
about married men.
Completely agree.
So completely true. Bethany,
Cook. Clean.
I would lie for sex.
yes. That's a guy answer. You don't know how deep this runs with us. You would lie. Yes, lie.
I've never done this, but beg.
Yes,
I would never do that. Don't have to. Don't have to.
beg. This is a guy question. They don't even know.
Guess not.
2 strikes, no chance you can blow this, James.
I'm gonna kick it up a notch and say kill.
I would. Yes! Kill! Yes. Boulay family, get ready to steal.
Now, this isn't me. I would cry for sex.
Baby, did you let the 2 women down there influence your answer? Yes, you did. Why would you do that? This is a guy question. You want some big dude laying on her crying. Number 4. Die. We'll buy it. We'll kill you about it. We'll beg you for it. We'll lie about it. And at the end of the day, we'll lay down our life for it.
Well, there you have it. Ladies, what's your thoughts about that? Deja, you can speak for the ladies. Hopefully some of them might be in the comment section. What you think about that, ladies?
Very, very interesting, but not surprising.
Not surprising.
Not surprising. You know,
So, yeah.
just to hear from a male's perspective, a married man at that, not just
Married.
a single guy. This is a married man, and it's not uncommon that we hear, we're in some marital relationships that the sexual activity seem to diminish a little bit after the vows are after we say our I do's.
I
But
do
yeah.
became I did.
I did. I used to.
I used to.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, ladies, I'm just going to tell you, today we're letting you into the mind of men. And also, brothers, we're asking you the question, have you become a standby man? Is all you good for is just your resources. And this is not leading to anything that's going to be a long-lasting commitment, marriage. You're just being used for your resources. Resources that could be getting allocated toward your future relationship, your future marriage, your future family, your future children. Are you wasting those resources? Because just like women value men with money, men, we put a value on a woman's body. Oops. Yes, we said it out loud. So women, are you wasting the best of what God has given you that you should value and preserve and protect for your future husband? Are you wasting that on standby men? Men that you put in a position or in a place in your life, because ladies, you have the power to say yes or no. So you have the type of relationship that you want. You have the power to say yes or no. Have you put men on standby because you have needs, physical needs, and because of that, you are using them to satisfy those needs? But every time you do that, ladies, you are diminishing. I know you don't want to hear it. You are diminishing your value for your future husband. Because just like men, women value men for the resources that they can provide and bring to the relationship. We place that same value on you and your womb. So I'm saying, women, we need to be careful of how we use ourselves, because I'm just saying, that's ultimately, as men, how we look at it. You saw how just downright dirty and just how that's the value that men put on it. Will lie, steal, beg, kill, die.
Wow.
That's the value that we put on it, on your body, on you.
Interesting.
It sounds cold. It don't sound, romantic. It don't sound all rosy and flowery. It just sounds downright cold. So if you go ahead and you want to stand by man or whatever the case may be, you just need somebody to fill in the gap till you meet Mr. Right, right? And you want it to be that way, and he's providing some resources because he'll pay for it. Number one answer on the top of the board.
Yeah.
Guess what? You just basically, oh God, see, people don't want to hear it. Then they start to get mad because they don't want to hear it, because they start talking about, well, my pastor told me that we all precious in God's sight and God loves us all and we all have value in the sight of God. Okay, all that's true. But if you're talking about getting married to somebody, men, we know that marriage gonna cost us. Mm-hmm. And so we're looking to see, are you worth the price that's being required? Because resources got to go into this transaction.
Yeah.
That sounds real cold, don't it? Don't nothing about that sound like love.
Not at all. Not at all.
Don't none of that sound like love. Sound like a business deal.
Yeah.
Sound like a business deal.
Yeah, sound like a business deal.
Yeah, but are you wasting your value, women? Are you wasting it? And men, are you taking your resources and putting them into something that all you want out of this is something that's for one night or a week or temporary? Because if you're going to build generational wealth and build legacy, financial legacy, and build legacy, we can't do it doing this stuff that we're doing now.
No.
All that money that you're putting into something because you can't control yourself, you can't subdue. You can't put some type of restraints on your desires because we lack self-control. And you know what scares me about it, Deja? And I'm just gonna say it, because what I'm looking at, like if I'm talking about going into something, now that I know how serious marriage is, I'm looking at going into this. I'm going to be looking at how well you've been able to be self-controlled in your finances, self-controlled in your intimate, how you have conducted yourself intimately and stuff like. I'm going to be looking at all of that. And likewise, women, I know that part may not be as much of a concern or issue for you on your behalf, but if you know there's a guy out there and you're talking about marrying this guy and he's real, he don't have no kind of control with his money and finance, he's in debt, and that's economically unattractive.
Right. Because now if we're talking about building, a future, I'm putting myself in a position where I'm taking on that debt that you have.
Absolutely.
Especially if we're talking about marriage.
Absolutely.
Which should be the future goal for anybody in a relationship. We should be in a place to where we don't just want to waste our precious time and precious years.
Absolutely.
Just to say that, oh, well, that's my boyfriend. Oh, that's my girlfriend. Or, well, no, we're not going to get married because I don't want to put myself in a position to lose my benefits and you lose your benefits. And no. And we see that a lot in the black community.
Yes.
Where they forego marriage because they don't want to lose their benefits.
Absolutely.
Or they
what
run
about your
down
future?
Run down to a neighboring state and get married down there so that it doesn't show up on the records here in the state of Michigan that, no, you're married.
Man, you should be saving your money, investing your money, and you shouldn't be wasting your resources on something that's not leading to the legacy that you want to build for yourself and your future family.
Yeah.
That was about as straightforward as you can get, wasn't it? Yeah. And if you know that you feel a certain way about this particular woman and she doesn't feel the same way, but you're dumping your resources into this situation, I would implore you and encourage you to probably reevaluate what your purpose is. Have you even discovered and found your purpose? Because a man with a purpose is not going to waste his resources on something that's not leading or propelling him or pushing him or guiding him or furthering his path to reach his purpose.
Because guess what? She knows she can call on him, and she knows
Absolutely.
that he's going to be there to rescue her out of, debt or running into a situation where the rent's due on the first, and she, know that she can call him, and he's going to show up and rescue her. But again, his position is, and what you going to do for me?
So, Deja, question is, should a man be paying bills and providing that level of resources for his girlfriend or somebody he's just, casually
somebody
seeing?
That he's courting, or somebody that he's
let's put some type of label on it. Yeah.
Relationship with.
And what would that look like? What does in 2020? What does that even look like as far as a serious relationship? What does that even look like now?
I can't even answer that, and I thank God I don't have to answer that because. But if I rewind a little bit, prior to my husband and I getting married, we lived together, and he covered, half the expenses. I covered half the expenses.
Oh, but y'all went half and half.
Yeah, we went half and half.
Okay.
That was what we did, so.
Okay.
What they do now, James, I really can't begin to tell you what they do now. Some people live in separate households, and the man maintained his household, and the woman, she maintained her household, and they just, get together periodically. I guess he go over her house, and she go over his house.
Yeah.
They get together and vacation together. So, for whatever reason, some people feel as though They don't want to put themselves in a position to not have their own home to go to if, in fact, that relationship does not work out. So
Yep.
people do it for their own personal reasons, just to have that security.
Yep.
Now if things get a little bit more serious and they decide to marry, ideally they may, make the decision to consolidate down into just one home.
So we're talking about engagement in that regard then.
Yeah.
Yeah, engagement. The problem I have is when, because I've heard it a lot, is when I hear women say, well, if he can't pay bills, if he can't do this for you financially, I'm like, wait a minute, we just dating. You're not my wife.
But see, that's
And just like women say that a man shouldn't be getting wifely benefits, should you be getting husband benefits?
yeah, because the question I have is, why would a woman feel that, that they're so entitled to that man's resources because you're deciding to, be in an intimate relationship with him, does that automatically, put you at in a position to where he
Yep.
has to, take care of you financially or give you money, or if you're in a situation to where, your bill is getting ready to be turned off, should he be willing? Should it be understood, or is it understood that if we're together, and whatever that together means, that you should be able to help me if I get into a bind?
Ooh, that's a good question. Do you think, because I do you think that men lead off with their wallet? Because we know,
Think about it.
we know that that's one of the primary things that we need to have in order.
And I believe that is the what they feel like is going to get the attention of that woman. 'Cause
Absolutely.
think about it. Most guys, we see it even on some of the social media little quick videos where if the guy, you see the girl walking up the street and the guy approach her, and it's not until that girl or that lady sees that he's getting into this nice Lamborghini over here that now he's gotten her attention. Right?
Yep.
I've
Yeah, we
seen
see them
those
videos all the
videos.
time. Yep.
So in essence, it's sad but true. Most times than none, the attention that a man is going to get from a woman, it's usually based upon, finances.
Yeah.
What kind of vehicle does he drive? What is
Yeah.
he driving? For all they know, for all accounts, it could be a rental car. They wouldn't know.
Yeah.
All they know is they see him driving around or riding around or getting into the latest nice vehicle. So now he's gotten her attention. And that could be a rental car. But then, and even with the first dates, more times than none, who's paying for the first date? It's usually the man. It's usually the man.
Yeah. It's
So
funny
they're
how men,
starting
leading right off.
leading
Yeah.
right off
Yep.
with their finances.
It's funny, Deja, how you'll hear brothers say, well, I want her to like me for more than just what I can provide. But then that's how we end up leading off
That you
and
lead off.
start, right, leading off with it and using that as our primary tool of attraction.
And the opposite good for women. They lead off with their body parts. They lead off with, the way they,
No, they don't, because I don't want no man sexually objectifying me.
yeah, but your breasts hanging out. But your breasts hanging out. And now you got on these shorts that's so short they look like underwear. Come on now. How can you put that out there and not expect to be objectified? You can still be a woman and be graceful and be covered up.
Yeah.
But it's the day and age we're in, and it has a lot to do with, the cell phones, the social media,
How can men avoid getting themselves in a situation where they become a standby man? Brothers, we got to come up with a different way, because I see this. It's so prevalent now where the money's going. I mean, come on, brothers. We've said it on this show. Men know right away if this is somebody they want to marry, and women, y'all can say you don't know, but yes, you do, because women plan for intimacy. Am I lying, Deisha? They plan for it, so you know where you plan on going in your physical interaction with this man. You know that up front, just like he knows up front if he has plans for you to be his wife. But the game is we leveraging ourselves on both sides of the table.
But let me ask you this, James. How quick or how soon does he know? Is it within 90 days? Is it like...
Oh, it's sooner than that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's sooner than that. He sooner than that. That's why else would he be pursuing you? He's only pursuing you for one or two things. Can we keep it real? He's pursuing you for what you led off with and got hanging out, or he's pursuing you because he can see the future of you being the future Mrs. whatever. In my case, it'd be future Mrs. Hollingsworth. So he's only pursuing you for one of the two reasons. He either want to get the socks off or he want to get the ring on.
So it's either love at first sight or lust at first sight.
One or the other, and there is no other. And so if he's approaching you and he is serious about that, you ladies, stop playing. Y'all know if the brother's serious on that level or not. Y'all be acting like, well, he just tricked me, he manipulated me. No, come on, let's stop. Let's take some accountability. Accountability be like kryptonite. Crack in 1984 is, like that's what accountability is like in 2022. And so come on now, because women, y'all playing for it because you want to have on the right perfect undergarments. You want to make sure everything's fresh and clean. Y'all know ahead of time. You plan for it, right? So why would you dangle it out there knowing that you have no intention that this is ever going to be somebody that you even want to be intimate with like that? Or why would you even use yourself like that to try to extract resources out of a guy, knowing that this is somebody that even if he asked you, you're going to say no? Or you might take the ring with no intention that you're going to walk down that aisle.
Right.
And then have a problem with giving it back when it don't all work out. So, do you have men stored in your phone as food and rent? And brothers just, y'all, I mean, some brothers need to realize it. They be out there just really thirsty and, trying to get this woman's attention and throwing money at it, and the money ain't sticking.
Right.
And she just dangling, she dangling the possibility in front of him like this. Just keep dangling it, and he just keep on just dangling it. Stand by, man.
Well, we have a comment from Lester Earl Buckley. He said, "True, I knew in 2 weeks, and that must be that his wife was the one."
Absolutely, we know right up front. We know it.
Wow.
Because we're only going to pursue you for one of the two reasons. We're not going to keep putting our resources into something that we don't want. Remember what the video said? What would they do for it, for intimacy? Number one answer was pay for it. So he's either paying because he wants that, or he's paying because he wants you permanently. And when men see something that they want permanently, guess what we trying to do? Come on, Buckley. Tell them what we trying to do. We trying to lock it down as quick as we can because we don't want nobody else to have it. And we don't like sharing.
Are you the standby man, or
are you the standby man? Are you the food man or the rent man? Because it's doing the first.
Look,
which one are you?
Name up under there is Little Caesars.
Yeah, are you the Little Caesar man? DJ, who had a person's name in their phone named Little Caesar? That ain't the man's name. Who would do such a thing?
Who would do such a thing? Little Caesar.
The man in your phone as Little Caesar. The pizza man.
Mama, Little Caesar sisters calling your phone. Knowing you ain't ordered no pizza.
Wow. Michael Westlake Senior said, sad to say, many enjoyed those answers. That is so true, Mike. That is so true. And here's the sad part about it. Those resources that you're using as a standby man could be the resources that you're investing to have everything together for your future marriage, for the actual wedding, for your future house. You know, you could be getting your credit together. I know men that have ruined their credit for a woman. Come on, comment section. Do you know cases? Men that have ruined their credit, that have literally not just dipped into their savings, but depleted their savings for a woman.
So are they doing this with the hope of securing that woman when she ain't got no intentions on making it a long-term relationship?
Yep. Absolutely.
I guess he's in love, huh?
Yeah.
What
Come on now.
Turner say, a fool in love? No, that was
Yeah.
what was her name? Tina Turner.
Yeah.
Just a fool. You know you're in love.
Yeah. The accountability is lacking though. Like, you know good well. I watched a show from a guy who was doing a podcast show, and he had a young lady on there who was seeing this guy. They were friends, but they had been out on 10, 12 or more outings. She said, we just friends. Well, he know I don't like him like that. And I know he likes me. Has he really said no? You know, ladies, you know where this guy going. You know what I'm saying? Come on, stop it. Y'all know, right? So he was paying for everything, and I think her conscience was kind of bothering her, right? So she was asking the question, like, should she, like maybe start paying or this, that, and and then she said, well, I asked my dad, and my dad say, well, because I told my dad I don't like him like that. I'm not attracted to him. And my dad says, well, he's just paying to be, for your time, to be in your presence. Dad, somebody need to slap you upside your head like Will Smith oops. Just need to slap you upside your head. Come on now. Good doggone well. You
Wrong answer, Dad.
Let's put the shoe on the other foot, Deja. Can we play devil's advocate? Let's put the shoe on the other foot. There's this guy. This girl really likes him. She really digs him. Oh, she loves him. She adores the ground that he walk on, his Jordan sneakers. She just loves everything about him. And the way he talks to her, he spends some time with her. He don't really take her out. You know what I'm saying? But he goes over the house all the time. He kind of, he's just really nice to her, and that's and third. And they're having intimacy. He got his socks off, and they just going through all of this. And now it's 2 years later, the same thing. 3 years later, 4 years later, the same thing, right? And it's just going on, and everybody's asking, girl, when y'all gonna get married? I don't know, he ain't asked me yet. All this stuff like that, right? When he get with his boys, he tell them the truth, man. Yeah, And then when she asked him, well, what's the nature, of our relationship? Where do you see this going with us? We just kicking it, we just hanging, we just, whatever. Do y'all think that's okay? Cause y'all I read comment sections, cause y'all be having a major problem, and the first thing y'all say is, he tricked her. He should have told her up front. Men be telling you up front. Y'all just don't want to listen. Yeah. Be telling you up front what it is.
And that's the thing. They telling you, but you want to hear something else. So you done already picked out the bridesmaid's dress.
Thank you.
You already envision yourself walking down the aisle with this man, when this man done been very clear what it was.
So how do we feel about those situations? Well, how do we feel about a man who's clearly taking advantage of a woman and using her for intimacy? How we feel about that, y'all? Y'all would call him the lowest scum of the earth. He's a dog. He ain't no real man. A real man wouldn't do that. And I could say some other words, but I ain't trying to get banned tonight. I've been really
Right.
good so far.
Right.
We don't have a very high opinion of him at all. But we'll blame the man and say, well, if he gonna pay and he gonna give her this, I mean, she shouldn't say no. Stop it.
Right.
She on the other foot. We still say it's his fault. Well, girl,
'cause
if he
see,
giving,
he want to buy her gifts and all. I mean, he is buying her something.
she
mean,
told him they were just friends.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, look, Lester Earl said that a woman got a washer and dryer out of him.
And a dryer? A washer and a dryer?
A whole set.
A whole set. Well, if I told y'all some of the stuff but some of them might be watching this podcast, what they got out of me, but not no more, because I'm a reformed simp. Hey, where my reformed simps at in the comment section? Where y'all at?
Reform one. It ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen no more. I ain't paying for nothing for nobody who ain't my WIFE.
But you know what, James? I ain't never been that kind of woman, though. I ain't never. No. Just straight taking advantage of our brothers.
Straight taking advantage. Straight taking advantage. You know, because we good for having, there's shows all over Facebook, YouTube, everywhere about men, you know, not being on the up and up with women. But we don't want to talk about that subject because it's taboo. First thing the women come through is start saying, but you don't understand. Yeah, I understand perfectly. When you start talking about ain't no good men out here, yes it is. You done had a bunch of them in your standby friend zone, standby man, paying rent, paying stuff, buying pizzas,
But he
all
ain't
kind of
good
stuff.
But he ain't good enough.
But he ain't good enough to marry.
He ain't good enough to marry.
But he good enough to buy a washer and dryer.
Knowing dog good and well, he's a provider.
Mm-hmm.
He values women.
Yep.
You know, and at the same time, he's an honest working man.
Yep. Ooh,
Yet and
DJ.
still, you ain't doing nothing but trying to take advantage of that man and his resources.
Yep. And guess what happens typically with men and their resources the older they get? What do you think, Deisha?
I think the older they get, the more they get.
Hello. How about you, ladies? I'm just letting you know. God gave you something very, very valuable and precious, and he gave you a lot of it up front. Are you wasting it?
Lester Earl on the roll, he say took his credit score down to 200.
Told you. I know a whole bunch of men. If I sat down with pen and paper, I'd come up 300-400 names.
That ruined their credit.
Ruined their credit, depleted their savings, bought cars, jewelry. Hello.
To the retirement?
Paid rent,
Did they tap into the retirement?
tapped into their retirement savings, everything depleted. Being a standby man.
So now they got to recover, and here she goes on with the next guy.
Absolutely. Man, we got to value our resources more than that. You got to value your resources, because your resources is one of your primary keys and tools to help you to make sure that you're able to provide for and to build a legacy for your family, for your future family, with your wife, with your spouse, for your children, to build a future legacy. Stop wasting your resources as a standby man.
Yeah, because actually, James, sometimes it's hard to even recover from that. Or
It's very hard. Takes years.
and years to recover from that
Yep.
damage. And here she going on,
Yep.
taking advantage of the next, man that comes
Yep.
along who see her, just see the outward beauty,
Yep.
and is willing to lavish her with all these things, and she know that she has no intentions on making it a permanent lifelong relationship. or
Absolutely.
marriage.
Buckley, if you're still there, how long did it take you to rebuild your credit after that situation? Takes years. If you're still there, and you could drop that in the comments section if you don't mind sharing. How long did it take you to rebuild your credit back up? And what the sisters to say? Well, I mean, it's not her. I mean, he was giving it. I mean, he was just.
And I think they used to refer to these women as sack chasers back in the day.
Ooh,
remember that term?
Lord Jesus, boy, you just told one I ain't never heard of.
You
I be
never
saying
heard of
stuff
sack
that you ain't never heard of. I ain't never heard that one. That's a good one though.
That must be a Michigan thing.
Oh, my God, I never heard of that one.
Detroit area, yeah. You
Wow, wow.
Only would date the guys with money. Most of the time back then in the
Wow.
80s, 90s, it was your local, dope boy, corner boy.
Wow.
They used to call them sack chasers.
You got me on that
guy
one.
with the
With
money.
the bag, the money bag.
Yeah. So it looks like we do got a comment. 5 years.
Took him 5 years to rebuild his credit back up. 5 years.
And Gina Berry say, look, we call those women scabs. Real women.
Ooh, that's a good one, Gina.
Also, too, Lester said he was 25 and she was 40. He was 24 and she was 40. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Took advantage.
Took advantage. Took a straight
of an
advantage.
opportunity.
Yep. So that part, this conversation here gets tight because this is the one we don't want to talk about. Men that get stuck on standby, dangling this hope in front of them. Dangling the hope in front of them. Then when the brother turn around and get tight with the pocket and everything, right? It's like, why he asking me what I bring to the table? Because he been throwing money, buying tables, chairs, and everything else.
Tables, chairs, lamps.
Lamps.
Look, the cup coasters, pot pans,
The
coasters.
the coasters. Towels, sheets, blankets, purses, shoes, perfume,
getting your hair done, your nails
nails done,
your
lashes done.
Just taking straight advantage of that man.
Just dangling in front of him, just because your beauty is currency.
And see, and the sad part about it, her friends be knowing all about him. They be knowing all about him. Friends and family know all about him.
Yeah, they know about that standby man because she be telling everybody about him.
I'm going to give you a
girl, he do this for me.
Man. Do you remember Set It Off?
Set
It Off?
Yeah.
The guy who was giving, what was it, Jada Pickett?
Uh-oh.
Went due on the first. That was the standby man.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Gina said I had a guy that liked me, but when he won the lottery, I didn't hear from him. He must have hit big.
He must have hit big.
What he hit for, girl?
Yeah, what he hit for, girl? What he hit for? He must have hit real big.
He disappeared.
That joker was like, gone with the wind. Scarlett was over there like, where he at? With the wind. Man, what did he hit for? Man, he must have hit big. What she say? Did she say yet?
He ain't responded yet.
Oh my goodness, that brother must have hit big, man. Well, that's all. I got it out my system now. We needed to talk about this because this is a big problem, right?
Yeah.
And how I want to say this. To let you into the mind of a man. I know how I want to say it. What happened? What somebody says?
Gina say she didn't say how much, but he knew I was gonna be begging for a roof.
For a roof for the house.
A roof for the house. So he got gold.
Hey Gina, I want to say that was you. Was that you? I remember This probably happened a couple years back, because this was a thing going on in St. Louis. I had it happen to me, where somebody stole her tires off her vehicle and set that joint on bricks on
In
some
the
blocks,
driveway?
right out in the street. Stole her tires, all of them, off her vehicle and propped that joint up on some bricks. They cold-blooded like that. That happened to me one time.
Well, I seen somebody had on this.
So
this a whole
she was
nother
probably going
subject.
to ask him for some tires.
Oh, I had seen where somebody had a video going circulating on social media where they hit up all like the Hellcats, the Dodge, what is them, Chargers, went through got all the tires off of them at a dealership.
Red.
Yeah, I'll try to find it and send it to you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord.
But look, man, if y'all want to be, suitable and prepared and ready for marriage, you got to make some changes, brothers. If you're single and you're out here and you want to be married, get your resources together and don't waste them on anybody that. Personally, I'm going to say, until you buy the ring, both of y'all probably need to be really thinking about this. And it really don't take that long for this to move in that direction, because if you're over there talking about you got your socks off, I think y'all should probably know each other pretty well
Absolutely.
by then, if you're over there with your socks off. So,
Yeah.
brothers, I'm just saying, put more value on yourself and your resources. Put more value on yourself. Put more value on your purpose. Y'all hear me? I'm gonna look right in the screen. Put more value on your purpose. What God has put in you that you want to accomplish with your life. And then you will find a partner or someone, a spouse, that can fit into that purpose. Right? But if you out here just slinging the money around, just haphazardly, randomly, just trying to meet anybody that you find attractive and that'll take the bait, the money, I'm not saying it's your fault, but I'm just saying we got to value our purpose more,
Right. I agree.
because then you put your resources toward that purpose, and somebody else can come in and they'll flow in those provisions with you.
Yep.
Deja, I don't know if you feel comfortable sharing, because you've shared it kind of before, the financial state and condition that your husband was in, prior to you all marrying. He had himself together,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he provided that guidance and leadership, because he had his credit together, he had himself together, and so he was able just to bring her right on into that, and they were able to build together.
Oh, yeah,
Now
definitely.
you know what I'm saying?
But see with my husband too, he was very in a very good state financially, even with his credit score. He had a much higher credit score. I was, divorced, and as a result of divorce, my credit was impacted. But even though I had the business, the finances that I was able to maintain from that, dissolved marriage, he come in and he had the financial piece plus a good credit score. So a lot of times when we would go acquire things, he would have to be put on the loan as a co-signer for
Okay.
me, and
Yes.
that allowed me and enabled me to restore my credit without having
Yes.
to file bankruptcy or do anything like that. Just to go through the step, and just with him being attached to the loan as a guarantor, it allowed me to build my credit score back up too.
Yes,
And
yes.
and just the marriage together, it allowed us to get to a different place, just even financially, but also
That's good.
from an economic standpoint, in addition to just even net worth, as a whole. But yeah, so
Yeah.
we had to work that thing together, and that's one of
Work
the
it
things
together.
that Lester Earl just put. You and her need to be on the same page, and I absolutely
So true.
agree.
So
in
true.
order to make it work, and you have to be on the same page, because a lot of the times, like I told you, James, about a young lady that I met recently, was married. She's newly divorced. She did not know that her husband home was in foreclosure. It was in
Oh,
a foreclosed
yes.
status because when they
Yes.
married, she moved into his home that he had already had. But
Right.
he said he was so secretive, and she was unaware that the house was in the foreclosure status, and ultimately they end up having to move, and that
Yes.
relationship dissolved, not just because of that, but just because
Yes.
of the fact that he was not very truthful,
Yes.
you know, and wasn't honest. And that's one of the things that we have to be upfront honest. If you're in a situation and your credit has suffered because of, you know, past decisions or divorce,
Yep.
be honest.
Yep. Yep. We got something that we say at work. I haven't heard it in a long time, but we used to say it all the time, Deja, we said trust but verify.
I like
Yep.
that.
Trust but verify. So look, verify. Verify. And now that we're in 2022, it's not hard.
It's
It's not
not.
hard to verify.
Nope.
You know?
But you're going to want to know who you're dealing with, you know?
Absolutely. Look, I don't have a problem with anybody, and y'all shouldn't either. Brothers, sisters, I don't care who you are. Somebody asking you for some medical records in terms of your, your purity. Let me put it that way. Your cleanliness. How about that? Your cleanliness. You know, monkeypox or whatever. I'm just saying it. You shouldn't have a problem with that, right? You want me to get over here with my socks off, okay? And you guess what else? Vice versa, same as. You shouldn't have a problem showing somebody what your credit score is. You be bragging about it anyway. Why can't I see it?
That's right.
Now, I'm not saying you got to be pulling out all your bank records. I ain't saying all that. But if we get to the point where we're engaged and we're about to be married, hello, full disclosure.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, full disclosure. So trust but verify.
Trust
know?
but verify. I like that.
And it's challenging out here now. It's hard out here in these streets. You know, we just here trying to help you.
That's it.
So, Deja, before we wrap this up, I got one more question to ask you.
Yes,
if you're
sir.
able to even provide some wisdom, I'm sure you can. That's why I be trusting that when I throw these questions out to you that we haven't pre-discussed, that you'll have an answer to it.
Let's see.
But if you had to give, from a woman's perspective, if you had to give men 3 to 5 things that they need to do to make sure that they keep themselves out of a compromising situation where they become a standby man, and what they need to be on the watch for, would you be able to provide, say, 3 to 5 things to make sure that they are pursuing something that's truly worth their time and resources?
Right. I guess for me, I just look at my own personal, relationship and how my husband kind of wooed me. You got to be careful not to be open and honest, with your finances up front, because a lot of the
Gotcha.
times the issue is, people want somebody to want them for them, but like we said earlier, if you're leading with, your finances and bragging about what you got, that's exactly what you're going to end up with, is somebody wanting that. So you can be discreet. Because my husband, when we first met, we worked together, I had no clue. I never seen him outside of work, so it was very impressive to me when we first went out on a date, and from there we had already developed a relationship where we was talking regularly, but I never seen him outside of the work environment.
Yeah.
So by then I was really head over heels then. But so you just got to be a little bit more discreet. Don't be so quick to swipe your card. So in other words, don't be so quick to give your, you should really be cautious when somebody straight through the door begin to ask questions about, can you help me with this? I need help with this. That's a red flag right there. That's a red flag. If it starts, more likely than none, it's going to continue. If you're just meeting somebody within 2 weeks, they're asking you for help with gas, that run in the opposite direction, because that's letting you know that is what more likely than none their intention is for you, is to be there to help them financially. And you know, a guy needs to truly ask himself, what does he want out of the relationship, or does he even want a relationship? Because like you said earlier, James, guys are usually a little bit transparent and honest, but it's the woman who really is not accepting of what's being said. And not only are they not accepting of what's being said, they really want more out of the relationship than what that man is willing to give them. You know, so she has to in turn be honest with herself too, and ask herself, do I want to, you know, continue with this if I know that this relationship is not going to go anywhere? You know, you got a lot of people nowadays, they're okay with companionship. And if it's going to be a companionship, just call it that. Just call it that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't want to be giving a person, you know, false hope that it's more than what it really is. Because a lot of the times, that's how people get hurt.
That's true.
That's how people get hurt.
That
You
is
know,
true.
I watch a lot of the little shows that come on Oxygen and stuff like that. But transparency is important.
That's true.
That's
Man,
what
that
I
was
have.
good. I'm glad you said it, because I don't even know if I could have said it that good.
Hopefully I answered the question.
Well, do we need to do a last minute check in the comment section? A last minute check.
Looks like
Buckley said reformed. Reform, yeah. Yeah, buddy. I feel you. Let's see here.
oh, Gina said again, and that's what she said earlier, even before me, is when you merge with someone else, be transparent. But even with that, know that you can inherit debt, especially taxes. Yes, you can.
Oh, come on, Gina. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, that is so true.
Yep. I think we covered them all.
Yeah, that's some good stuff in there. So, y'all know what to do. If you're watching on YouTube, will you ring the bell? Because we having some really deep, serious discussion over here. And if you want to, you know, make sure that you catch them as they come up, ring the bell, man, and subscribe to the channel. We still over here trying to build. We're not even 2 months in yet. We getting close to 2 months in, but we're not even 2 months in yet. I think this on YouTube will be the 40th video that goes up. So also do me a favor over there. We're still trying to build up the YouTube platform. So if you're watching here on on Facebook, just go over there too. You can either use my name, James Hollingsworth. I might come up as a British singer. If you use James Hollingsworth, I might come up as a British folk singer. So you can put in the Working People's Podcast in the search bar on YouTube and press that subscribe button for us. Help us to get that algorithm going over there. So on YouTube, this will be the 40th video that's up on the YouTube platform. And that's a good start for getting the algorithm going. But it also takes likes, baby, and it takes subscribers. So help us out. Do that. Subscribe to the channel. But one of the biggest things you could do over here is also like the video, share it. Is two of the biggest things that you can do on the Facebook platform. So like the video, press the heart button, and also share the video, because the algorithms on these different social media platforms, they love interaction. They love to see when you're getting interaction and people are liking, because we know that on Facebook, you can just press the unmute button and you can watch it without actually pressing on the video, where it will log in the algorithm your view. But on the back end, I'm just sharing these things because I want you all to know. We're transparent here. On the back end, as I go in, I can see insights. So I can see the number of people that watched it without getting the view. But the algorithm likes to see the views and the interaction. So help us out, right? If you are getting benefit and some type of really good conversation out of these shows and podcasts that we're putting together, do that for us. Press the heart button, press the like button, and share the video, right? Share it with somebody that specifically that you might know needs to hear this conversation. right? And as well, if you maybe say, I got myself together, I'm married, this, that, and the third, you know a whole lot of folk that these conversations we've been having, from talking about the Claudine syndrome to talking about changing your mindset to talking about all the stuff we've been talking about. You know a whole lot of folk that can need to hear and listen. So you need to share this with your auntie and your cousin them. You feel me?
That's it.
And get yourself out of, I'ma say it before I say I got to go. I'ma say it. Brothers, get yourself out the friend zone. And get yourself out the standby man zone. Stop parking your car in the driveway when you don't have access to the garage. Park it out on the street somewhere. Don't even have a thing to get in the garage. Because you know what? Because you're a standby man. So stop it.
They ain't got no garage door opener.
Ain't got nothing.
And
No
probably
garage
can't
door
rent 'em.
opening. But over there planting flowers, bringing purses and gifts. Stop it. Buying pizza. You know, come on now. Those ain't even your children. I know all y'all gonna get mad at me. Those ain't your kids. So until you put a ring on the finger and walk down the aisle, stop it.
Yeah.
Somebody better call Tyrone.
Guard your heart.
Guard your heart and your resources.
That's it.
It's like we stop putting, especially in the black community, it's like we stop putting value on men. We stop telling men to really know your value and pursue your purpose. Come on, we supposed to be leaders, man. We supposed to be leaders. So let's be leaders. Let's start pursuing our purpose. Right? Oh, I didn't even mean to say. I meant to say I got to go. That's what I meant to say. But we got to go. We got to go. I gotta go. So we out.
We out.